Hey, let's explore autistic history and the Autism Wars. This is part 62 of the series. So we just left off with the Dan Burton and Danielle Sarkin influence of the April 2000 hearing on autism and some of the afterwards back and forth between those. An editorial writer on WebMD that had some very blunt things to say about Senator Dan Burton, and so we covered that. But I'm looking at Wikipedia right now, thinking, okay, we've got 23 years since 2000. Maybe there's been some changes, or we'll see what has happened since then. So I'm going to share a bit here about what it says about Senator Dan Burton. All right, it says his full name is Danny Lee Burton, and he was born June 21st, 1938. So he was an American politician. He was in the U.S. representative for Indiana's 5th Congressional District and previously the 6th District, serving from 1983 until 2013. He is a member of the Republican Party and was part of the Tea Party caucus. So now we're going to talk about a very interesting connection about autistic history and the Church of Scientology. I told you we need a mini-series of this dramaful docu-series, right? This, I'm telling you, it's astounding. Yeah. But I'm mentioning it now because I didn't want to just throw it out there without any backup. But we're going to mention it now in connection with Senator Dan Burton. And the Church of Scientology has their own idea of healthcare. And their idea of healthcare is a lot what we see in alternative healthcare options that are harming badly autistic children all around the world right now, and it's being fought a lot, but there's more of that coming forward. So yeah, get buckled up. This ride just gets more and more wild as we go, and it is public record. These are not secrets, you understand. It is said here in October 2015, it was reported that Burton registered as a lobbyist on behalf of Citizens Commission on Human Rights, CCHR, an organization established by the Church of Scientology. CCHR advocates against psychiatry and psychiatric medicine and is critical of the Food and Drug Administration, FDA. It has been described by critics as a Scientology front group. It absolutely fucking is. It is. It states here, while not a member of the church, Burton attended the opening of the church's national office in 2012 and has praised CCHR's work in the past. The CCHR folks are also big fans of Andrew Wakefield. They're big fans of all these alternative medicine doctors because, and by the way, Bernard Rimland is affiliated with the Church of Scientology with his autism group, and his sources and cures for autism come right out of their handbook for like Narcanon, right? But more of that going forward. Now we're going to read the autism part of Wikipedia under Dan Burton's entry. So looking at Burton's history here, there is so much of, what in the hell? But I can't get into all that. I have to stay focused right where we're at because that's a rabbit hole that keeps rabbiting. It says here under the autism entry that Burton has been an outspoken critic of what he terms the failure of government to determine the cause of an alleged autism epidemic. It's alleged. It's not real. It never was. But they invented it so they could cause this uproar and get attention and funding for what they wanted. So, but you know. Let's see. When his grandson began to show signs of autism shortly after receiving the preventative, Burton inferred the relationship to be causal. My only grandson became autistic right before my eyes, shortly after receiving his federally recommended and state-mandated preventatives. Burton was instrumental in pressuring the National Institutes of Health to launch a 5-year, $30 million study of chelation therapy for cardiovascular disease. $30 million. This is the money, honey. This is, when we talk about they made millions upon billions off of us, and this is where all that money is, you know? These grants, these government grants. Isn't that what happened? I thought I saw somewhere people talking about Autism Speaks not making the money so much in their walks, but that didn't matter because the government grants went ahead and made up the rest. See, we're not any more forward than we have been in the past. But let's read more about Burton. In October 25th, 2000, letter to Department of Health and Human Services, acting in his role as chairman of House Committee on Government Reform, Burton asked the agency's director to get the FDA to recall all preventatives containing the preservative Tamarasol. I cannot say that. Fast to save my life. We all know and accept that mercury is a neurotoxin. We do. Yet the FDA has failed to recall the 50 preventatives that contain it, Burton wrote, adding every day that the mercury-containing preventatives remain on the market is another day. HHS is putting 8,000 children at risk. The autism myth is alive and well, and oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Burton maintained a page on his congressional website called house.gov, quotes, autism, which includes his speeches, transcripts from hearings, and newspaper articles on the relation of autism and preventatives. I have not looked at that link before. Ooh, I have never been down that rabbit hole so deeply. Yeah. Ooh. All right. That's excitement. Okay, sorry. In June 2017, in a June 2017 episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, a C-SPAN clip from 2002 of Dan Burton was used to highlight Burton's position on preventatives in relation to autism. In the clip, Burton says, I have yet to find any scientist who will say that there is no doubt that the mercury in preventatives does not contribute to autism. Now they'll say there's no scientific evidence, there's no studies or anything that proves that yet, but turn that around, there are no studies that disprove it either. Oh, it hurts, this hurts. Oh, my brain hurts, okay. Oh, my brain started skip-hopping too much, had to medicate, all right. So it says here, picking back up, John Oliver correctly highlights this as Burton's demand for proving a negative, which he calls an impossible standard. All this, but they didn't want to talk to any autistic. So it states here about Dan Burton's daughter. In June 2007, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington reported that during the 2001 and 2006 period, Burton's campaign fund had paid $143,900 to his daughter, Danielle Sarkin, who manages his campaign office. It is not illegal for federal candidates to pay family members for political work as long as they are paid fair market value, the Federal Election Commission has ruled.